Hi, this is Mrs. Secord. If you can write your name on your notebook, we're going to start a new unit on quadrilaterals. And I'd just like to identify 5 quadrilaterals. I'm going to add to that though a little bit. Okay, hey, the first one is a square. Okay, all sides equal, 4 right angles. I know you know that. And by the way, this is a quadrilateral. Let me move this over. Quadrilateral, 4 sides, 4-sided polygon. Okay, this shape here, well, it's a parallelogram. Opposite sides are congruent. Opposite sides are also parallel. We can put these markings on. We'll put double arrows on this side, single arrows on the other. This is a parallelogram. This has one pair of parallel sides, and it's called a trapezoid. Here we have a figure that has 4 congruent sides. This is called a rhombus. And here we have a figure 4-sided that has 4 right angles, and that is called a rectangle. Okay, I know you know those. Let's add 2 more. Okay, let's add an isosceles trapezoid. So if we have an isosceles trapezoid, we have these 2 legs congruent. So we'll try to sketch it here. Okay, so these 2 sides are congruent, and this is called isosceles trapezoid. And then there's one more, a kite. It has 2 congruent sides, 2 pairs of congruent sides, like a rectangle does. Oh, I should have used my straight edge. But this side, they're consecutive, they're right next to each other. These are congruent, and these 2 sides are congruent. That's called a kite. Okay, wait for you to draw that for a second. We got some terminology we got to get down. Consecutive means right next to each other. Diagonals, I think you know what those are. That's what we're going to be talking about. Ready? Here we go. All right, here we have a quadrilateral, and we want to name consecutive sides. That means one right next to the other. Okay, so a consecutive angle to D, I'm giving you one of them. If you follow along this line segment, it's A, angle A, or you could go this way, which would be angle C. Name a pair of non-consecutive vertices. Okay, now I'm just not talking the angle, I'm talking the vertice, the point. So A, we know D and B are consecutive, but the one that's not consecutive to A would be C. A and C are not beside each other. There's no segment connecting them. A diagonal. Diagonal, this could be AC, this one, or it could be DB. This is a diagonal. I could have drawn the other one in, AC. Name a consecutive side to AB, a side that's next to AB. I'll just highlight this. Okay, AD is one, and the other one would be, let's get a better color here, BC, right? These are next to. I already got the AD, so BC. The sum of the measures of the angles of a quadrilateral is 360. If you remember, we had a triangle as 180, and we can get 2 triangles if I draw in a diagonal, right? So 180 plus 180, That would give me 360. All right, so it adds to 360, and if I add these up, 90 plus 90 plus 60, 18 and 6 is 24. So if I take that and subtract it from 360, I'll find my missing angle C, which happens to be 120 degrees. Okay, another page. Actually, I think I'll skip this page and I'll let you do this on your own and we'll come back and check it. Let's go one more page. Properties of parallelograms. Opposite sides are, and I'm looking for the word congruent in a parallelogram. Like if this side is 10, so is this side. If this side is 4, so is this side. Opposite angles are also congruent. Notice they're both 66 in the opposite, and here's 114 and 114. The opposite angles are congruent in parallelograms. Consecutive angles, you know, the ones right next to each other we've been talking about, they're supplementary. See how this is 126 and that's 54? What do they sum to? Supplementary means they sum to 180. You can see 126 and 54 does add up to give me 180. In parallelograms, the diagonals, they bisect each other. See how I've drawn in the two diagonals? This is 2.3, this is 2.3. This is 3.5, this is 3.5. Bisected, cut it into two equal parts. And one other property, when I have a diagonal in a parallelogram, we get two congruent triangles. This triangle right here up here is congruent to this one down here. Two congruent triangles. Okay, let's see if you have this. A couple problems. All right, find the measurement of CD and DA, the side lengths. CD. Well, if this side's 15, so is this side. And DA, well, if this is 23, so is this. Opposite sides are congruent. The angle D.
From NHS, Eagle Ambassadors, and Student Council, please head to the gym at this time for your club pictures. Thanks.
Opposite angles are congruent. So if B is 105, so is this angle. And then let's see, angle C. What do we know about these two angles? We know that they're supplementary. They sum to 180. So if I take 180 and I subtract 105, let's see, I think I get 5 here, 75. These two angles add to 180. So this is 75. And so would this one be, 75. Okay. Also, when we have diagonals in a parallelogram, we know they bisect each other. So this X is the midpoint of this segment. It's also the midpoint of this one. They're not equal. You can see this segment's much shorter than this one, but this part from E to X does equal X to G. Okay, so if EG is 32, if the whole line is 32, what is EX? Wouldn't it be half of 32? And half of 32 16, right? So it's 16. 16 and 16 will give me 32. And thank you.